Yes, we are of the sharks. It is exciting to us and interesting to us that we have been called upon and invited into this circle, for we are aware that so many are so afraid of us. It was our bequest. We did request to come into the circle, but we also did not know that we would be invited. Nonetheless, we are here on Earth as messengers to assist people in processing through their fear. You see, there is nothing on Earth, well, perhaps that is not true any longer, but in the animal kingdom, there is almost nothing on Earth that inspires so much fear as the idea of a shark. And yet, we would affirm that we are among the most peaceful creatures on your planet. We truly are. We see ourselves as incredibly peaceful. We're mostly quite solitary. We just enjoy peaceful, watery swimming. We enjoy the movement and we bother no one. The idea that we bother humans is simply human fear. It is not unknown, of course, we are aware of that, but please know this, as a physical being, a shark, any shark, has very poor eyesight and equally poor smell. The way we navigate our reality is typically through the touch through our mouths, and sometimes through the taste of, yes, blood or chum or something similar. So we never, almost never, mean to hurt or harm a human. We mostly are searching, in those cases, for some kind of food, and we mistake. Nonetheless, we are charged, as part of our sacred contracts on Earth, to help humans process unnecessary fear, and that is why we hold this. And we wanted to offer today the energy and the consciousness, if you are willing to receive this, of, let us say this in the right way, what we would like to offer you is the ability to know and identify unnecessary fear. You see, that does not mean that you have the fear. That means that you recognize there are things in the world that people are afraid of, but you do not have to be afraid of it. For example, take the speaker. We enjoy this example, for we know her well. She swims in our waters all the time. Every time she enters the water, not only does she do a blessing on the water and all marine life, but she also affirms that she intends to enjoy the waters peacefully and enjoyably, and to have an enjoyable experience, a peaceful one. Now, in that state, nothing would ever bother her. She has affirmed, she has done something wonderful that we would call good service. She has no fear. She is aware that there are sharks. She, at this very time, is inhabiting the state of Florida, where there are often many sharks, and yet she has no fear of them. It is a useless fear. This is what we are offering you. This is what we would like to offer you today with a brief transmission, if you are willing. It is the knowing that there may be things to be afraid of, and the willingness and the choice to have no fear about them. For these things we refer to are needless and useless fears. If you are willing now, for those of you who are willing, we will offer you at this time a brief transmission, which is simply a sharing of consciousness for those who choose it. If you choose not, you simply say, as the speaker often refers to, no or no thank you. But for those of you who choose it, we will share it now in just a matter of moments, and all you need to do is take a breath and receive and allow it. By the way, since we are aware that there is a beloved companion in the speaker's arms as she speaks, we would like to remind you that this particular transmission can also be provided to your animals so that they need not have fear of unnecessary things. And also to your children, since the speaker just reminded us to include them as well, provided that they are your children, she says. So, with your permission, we will share with them as well. We would like to add one more example, just to clarify further. You know that you cannot step into a street when there is an oncoming car, and you know that that could be a scary thing to do, especially for a child. However, you would not do it. You do not carry the fear with you of doing it because you trust yourself not to do it, because you know you will not do it. This is what the transmission allows for. It allows you to be aware without having to have the fear. We just want to remind you, since we invited the example, since we invited the children into the circle, we simply wanted to remind you, it would not make your children run into a street. It would give them the awareness that it is not something to do, and that they have no fear because they can know for themselves and trust for themselves they would never do it. Equally, we would state, you, as a parent, would still hold their hand when crossing the street, to be responsible and to be a good parent, to teach your children wisely. So we are not negating anything that serves you. We are simply adding something and expanding on something and also relieving something that does not serve you. Again, with your consent, we will complete this momentarily. Oh, wow. I just felt all of that move down my arms like into my dog. She shifted. That was so wild. Really cool.